Hey, Facebook family, it's so good to see you again. We thank God for allowing us to be able to come back to you on this Monday, that we might share with you what God has done this past weekend. It was and is phenomenal. We've had the privilege and the opportunity to look at on our Saturday worship here at Sharon at 5 p.m. signs and marks of a healthy church. And Paul writes to the church at Philippi out of the book of Philippians. We saw primarily three traits that he uses to measure a healthy church. I did not say a perfect church. I said a healthy church. None of us on this side of heaven can claim perfection. Matter of fact, perfection and us can't even be in the same room, because there is such a diverse and such a division between the two that God does not even call us based upon perfection. He even calls us and uses us based on potential. And we are trusting God to continually be for us, do in us what it is that He desires for us to be, so that we can be healthy and not so much perfect. But he says to the church at Philippi, they were healthy because they had leadership. He says to the elders, or to the overseers, and also to the deacons. He also says they were healthy because of their longevity and their loyalty to the Apostle Paul. He says, from the first day until now, you have been faithful with me in this fellowship. One of the things we lack in the New Testament church is loyalty. We are such a fickle people. We find ourselves jumping churches and jumping off the ship just simply because the journey may get a little rough or the journey may get a little tough. We are full of fair-weathered Christians. We only want the sun to shine, but none of us can handle a little rain, a little wind blowing, a little snow falling. We're ready to throw in the towel and call it quits. But this church at Philippi, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situation, they were loyal to the Apostle Paul, and they had longevity with the Apostle Paul. And last but not least, one of the signs that show that they were a healthy church is because they were a people full of love. He says in the book of Philippians chapter 1, later on down around verse 8 or 9, he talks about how that their love should abound, and love does abound. And not only does it abound, but it abounds in discernment, and it abounds in knowledge. Love is not stupidity. Love that has nothing to do with a knee-jerk reaction emotionally. Love is tied to insight, to discernment, to knowledge, so that we can know better. If we know more, we can love more the God that we ought to serve more. So it is. This church was known for its leadership. This church was known for its longevity and loyalty. This church was known for its love. How about you? How about your church? How about you as a member of the local assembly? Is there any leadership in you, or is there any connection to leadership? Can you get under leadership, or do you always have to be the one in leadership? Is there any longevity, any loyalty in you as a believer? Or are you shaky, slick, sly, always have an agenda in your back pocket when things don't go your way? That's not a sign of loyalty. That's not a sign of longevity. Is there any genuine love? I'm not talking about Hollywood love. I'm not talking about loving because you feel it. I'm talking about loving because God said it. And you do what He says in spite of how you feel. And then you'll feel better after you do what He says. I pray that you, just like I pray for myself, that I would be able to not only be the leader, but be able to fall under leadership. Not only expect loyalty, but be loyal. And have longevity with my loyalty. And also the commodity that distinguishes Christians from everybody else. And that's love. Jesus said this, by this will men know that you are my disciples, when you love one another. I pray that those marks are in not only your life personally, but I pray that it's in your church publicly. And you will be a sign, and you'll be able to give a demonstration of a healthy church in your existence on this side of heaven and not on the other side. This week is going to be action-packed for us here at Sharon. It's our 79th church anniversary. Unbelievable lineup. I don't mean no harm. This is a all-star lineup. I mean, everybody bats 100 in this lineup. Today we had Pastor Corey Morris out of Kankakee, Illinois, who blessed us this Sunday. He's going to be back on Tuesday. I invite you to come. He'll be here at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday night, we'll have a lecture by Bishop-elect C.E. Glover out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Mount Bethel Baptist Church there in Florida. He's going to come and bless us dealing with our stewardship, the financial aspect in our lives. He's going to do a lecture on Wednesday at 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. And then we have Dr. Damon Jones from Bible Way Baptist Church. He'll come by on Wednesday night and bless us with the preach word. And we're looking at our 79th church anniversary, looking to hear what God has to say to us through these men. And then on Thursday night, which is the final night, we'll close out with Dr. Glover, Bishop Glover, also not only giving us a lecture from 6 to 7, but he's going to preach after he lectures in our worship experience. So we give you an invitation to come, because this last quarter, we give you an invitation to do what we're trying to do, and that is this: we want to finish strong. I pray that you finish strong too. Let's not just be good starters. Let's be strong finishers. God bless you. Hope to see you next week. Peace. Keep it real. Bishop Sal.